Welcome back to Stay Away from Narcs. I appreciate all the love and time and all your subscriptions and staying tuned. I hope you guys are well and staying toxic free, staying narcissist free as much as possible, and keeping your no contact if you are or have went no contact, you guys, and continuing to heal. And those of you that are just learning about narcissism and narcissistic abuse, you guys, I hope this is a channel that you find solace in and that you're able to find some healing and understanding of what you're going through. Okay, you guys, so for today's video, I'm going to get right into it. It's going to be regarding how the narcissist, specifically, I'm going to talk about again on the point of view and my own story of the narcissistic mother-in-law, but any narcissist that you have in your life, it doesn't matter who they are, can do these tactics. And specifically this tactic of they're going to spy and they're going to pry and stalk your social media in order to continue to control you. And I'll explain this topic today. So let's get right into it. Okay, so when the narcissist has control of your social media and just, obsessively stalks it, the reason is, and you're going to see a pattern, just like the pattern that you see with the narcissist love bomb process, and then they get into their devaluation and their discard process ultimately, in using your social media and using all the information they can get about you. Because just like how they first met you, when they first started interrogating you, and they're getting your vulnerabilities, they're getting your strengths, they're getting your weaknesses, they're using all of that information about you as much as possible, and they need as much of that information about you as possible to continue to see how they're able to control you, to see how they're able to shape and form you, and ultimately to see how and if you're going to abide by them. Because obviously, as I spoke just about in my last video, if you stop abiding by them and they see that, whether on your social media or wherever, they're going to start the devaluation and discard process. So they do this to keep tabs on you. They have to have a way of keeping tabs on you very discreetly, very covertly. And a great way of doing that, obviously, is if they have access to your social media, because you don't know how much they've been stalking your social media until maybe one day you catch them and you find them in the act. Or you get like little glimpses into, that you don't really understand how much they actually been prying into who you are as a person on your social media until maybe after you get out of that relationship and you take a step back and you see things more clearly as to, wow, this is why they knew all of this stuff about me, and this is why they, did this tactic control me and did that tactic control me, because they were stalking the heck out of my social media. Maybe even, trying to hack into your actual social media accounts if they cannot already gain access already. Because I know specifically, if you're a child of somebody that's a narcissist, they're just going to up and take your phone. They're going to gain access to your phone, gain access to your laptop in any which way that they can in order to get into your social media accounts. If you do not have them, blocked or password protected as much as possible, they're going to find a way to try to get into that information to access it. In order to better control you, in order to keep tabs on what you're doing. Because here's the thing, in my own personal story, my ex-narcissistic mother-in-law, she was again a highly malignant mother-in-law. I added her on social media because I didn't see anything wrong with her in the beginning, especially that she was going through her love bombing process. I added her on multiple social media accounts, and they won't come off as that they're any type of stalky people in the beginning. They'll come off as totally normal, other than the red flags that they give off at us initially. But, everybody, especially if it's somebody like your mother-in-law or somebody like close to you, you don't really take it, that strange that they want to follow you on social media, especially in today's age. So, I gave her access to my social media accounts. Obviously she didn't have passwords or anything like that she could get in, but she followed me on the majority of my social media. And there was a point in time where she had gone off on her trip, and she was expecting me, as all narcissists do, they, the majority of narcissists do, they expect us to, kiss up to them all the time and to, show them all of our affection and give them all of our love and kindness. And, every bit and every day that we're not giving them affection, it's a problem for them, or we're not showing them any type of uplifting of their ego. It's a problem. If you're somebody that's involved with a narcissist, constantly having to uplift their ego is an issue, that you're always going to have to deal with, because they always want those ego boosts, especially if they're that grandiose narcissist. They're constantly going to want you to stroke their ego, to call them and to tell them how wonderful they are and how this they are and how amazing of a person they are, because they're nothing on the inside and their self-esteem is extremely lacking. So they need the external validation from, all the people that they use and abuse, to constantly call them and contact them and go to them and tell them that they're an amazing, great person, when they're really not. They're a disgusting narcissist. So anyway, basically, she thought that I was going to constantly call her on the course of her vacation, because she went, pretty far. She went overseas, and she thought, since we have the internet and we're able to call across overseas now, she thought I was going to be constantly texting her every day and kissing up to her and telling her like how great of a person she is, and asking her if I need anything, because the narcissist, if they don't have that, especially if you have a narcissistic mother-in-law, if they can't keep tabs on you and they notice that you're putting up some type of boundary so that they can't really gain access or keep tabs on you and see what you're doing, they will start to retaliate against you. And in my case, this is what she did, because I wasn't calling her every day, I wasn't texting her every day, I wasn't really involving her in my life. But I was posting on social media, and when I started to post on, my Instagram stories of things that I was doing that I was enjoying, I was enjoying my time here, I was going out to restaurants, I was doing, I was living my life, and that's exactly what the narcissist does not want you to do, okay? Especially when, if the narcissist, we have time away from that narcissist, we start to little by little get back to ourselves. And the narcissist doesn't want you to do that, because the narcissist is an extremely fragile and jealous and controlling person. If they're not controlling you, and if they're not the ones that are constantly satisfied, and they say that you're satisfying yourself, then their inner rage starts to come out at you. And their devaluation, their smear campaign, all those bad things that we hear of, that narcissists start to do before they do a discard, or before just totally smearing us and depleting us, that's going to develop inside of them, because they see you having a good time, and they're stalking you all over your social media. And if you're not kissing up to them, and they feel like you don't even need them, they're really going to come after you. And that's essentially, I believe, what the narcissist, what is instilled in them when they see you, having a great time, and, feeling that you don't need them, because they're the ones that are supposed to be in control. They're the ones that are supposed to use and abuse and have a good time, and you're the ones that are supposed to be subservient to them. So if they're seeing the opposite or feeling the opposite of any way, it's totally sick. It's totally disgusting. I know. This dynamic is just totally off course, and it's not, that's what it is. It's narcissism. It's just completely sick, just slanderous stuff here, and they have to go after you and attack, because they're the ones that are not feeling good about themselves. So, and that's not how any human being should be treated. Again, I've said it time and time again. They treat you like you're nothing. They treat you like a robot, and like they are the only human being on earth, like they are a god, and they need everybody to be subservient to them. So yeah, she saw me having a good time, and she saw me on my, she was stalking my social media. And so as soon as she got back from her trip, I actually felt like there was like an eeriness with her, because I felt like she wanted me to constantly be in contact with her. She wanted me to, I felt like she was going to be upset if I didn't constantly contact her or kiss up to her. So when she came back, I felt an eeriness and an uneasiness in the air, like right around the time that she landed. So I had a little fear. And again, you guys, please don't fear the narcissist, because they're nothing. But I had a little fear instilled in me, and a little anxiety instilled in me. And I didn't even want to contact her when she landed, which is usually what I usually do. I keep my boundaries. I hold my boundaries. If I feel like I'm the type of person that I don't need to keep contacting you when you're out on vacation. Like, there's no need for that, other than when you're dealing with a narcissistic person that wants that validation. But usually when somebody gets back from their vacation that's, non-toxic or whatever, I give them a quick text, and I say, I hope you had a good flight. How was your flight? Things like that. Normal things of human nature, And I was fearful when I had anxiety, but ultimately I sent her a text, which is what I do with everybody else. And, I sent her a text. She didn't respond. She gave me the silent treatment. And I ultimately, what the narcissist does is they want to guilt trip us. And again, she was trying to guilt trip me for living my life that she saw I was doing on social media. She was stalking, she was prying, she was investigating to the best of her ability. And they're using that social media to continue to control us, to manipulate us, to guilt trip us. She guilt tripped me and made me feel bad and giving me the silent treatment because I was living my life and enjoying my time while she was being her miserable self. And so, when she got back, I mentioned the story of how, since she was giving me the silent treatment, I ultimately went over her house, knocked on the door, and she gave me this sadistic, eerie, narcissistic stare. Again, if you guys have seen that or felt that, it was so eerie. I felt, even the energy in the air was just completely off. And she just looked completely pissed off at me. And I could tell it, I could feel it. She let me inside, and she had her arms crossed. Like, even her body language was very stiff. She had her arms crossed. She was just very, you could tell. And all of that because I was setting the boundaries, and she saw, and I was enjoying my life, what she saw on social media. And she used that to guilt trip me, to make me feel bad. And then she gaslit and interrogated me. And by the time I left her house, I was feeling completely depleted, completely anxious. And I didn't even know what the heck it was at the time. I knew nothing about narcissism at the time, but I felt like I was just a shell of nothing. And a lot of us get that feeling of, being in a shell of nothing, feeling like a shell of nothing after we get gaslit and get raged at by a narcissist or have any type of interaction with a narcissist. And so, this is integral and crucial, guys, that, don't let the narcissist have access to your social media at all, because, even if they, as much as they try to gain access to you, the narcissist can't stay attached to you 24/7. And the only other way that they're really able to keep tabs on you and know what you're doing is if they follow you on social media. And if you're the type of person that likes to post about, stuff that's going on, and you don't have them blocked on there, and they can really just gain access to your passwords or your accounts or any other type of that information, you're going to get constantly manipulated. You're going to get constantly gaslit. You're going to get constantly guilt tripped and shamed because you're living your life like a normal human being. For living your life and posting about it and feeling good, like any positive, even a positive, affirmation post, like saying, I'm having a great day. Something as simple as that. The narcissist is going to take, if they see it on your social media, they're going to take it and they're going to make your day a living hell, because they don't like to see other people do better than them. They don't like, and the narcissist, again, they're a miserable human being. So you have to understand that. It's a sick, twisted mindset that they're always going to use against you, and they use it to, if you're having a bad day, they're going to probably try to use that to attach to you and try to act like they're a consoler and they're a caregiver and that they actually care, which really they're doing to just manipulate you further and to continue to control you further, and to maybe even love bomb you and continue to trauma bond you to be attached to them. So you think that they're a reliable person, and then you're vulnerable with them at that point, and so you're spilling out all these things to them. I had the instances with my narcissistic mother-in-law. I was, vulnerable and weak at some points, and I spilled some things out, and they're going to gain more information, and then all they're going to do is just use that information against you time and time again. And there's never a way that you can win with them. You cannot win with that narcissist, whether it's your mother-in-law, whoever the narcissist is in your life. You're not going to be able to win, because they're a sick, twisted, miserable human being that just wants to suck you dry and manipulate, use you, stalk you to control you, and just leave you depleted. And this was just the word that I wanted to give you today. Again, I have my donation links in the description. If you would like to donate to keep this channel going, I would appreciate it. PayPal and Cash App are in the link, and I also have my Venmo link on my part of my main channel. So thank you guys again. I hope you have a blessed day. Stay away from narcs, stay away from toxic people, embrace your mind, body, spirit. Keep it well as much as possible. Until the next video. Thanks.